Well, good afternoon, all you lovely, wonderful, weird people out there. Welcome back to the grumpy old git in the corner on a Tuesday, which is a beautiful summer's day, or as some would have it called, the fourth heat wave. Unbelievable. Now, I haven't been doing as many videos as obviously they're not posted. As I've said a while back, I am taking a bit more time out to consider my own health and about what watching all this shit going on does inside your head. Most of you will experience the same as I am, but I do follow what's going on. Now, we saw the big protest, or supposedly the big protest in London from pro-Palestine action, or as one woman that was de-arrested once the coppers realised that her banner said Plasticine, not Palestine. And they're moaning over 500 arrests, all bailed and released, or most of them in a temporary holding area. But looking at the stream, I did watch some of it. It was mainly old people. Yeah, there was one or two young uns that kicked off, but it was mainly the olds and pensioners, silver tops. Those that have got nothing better to do with their fucking time. But there's one there that I believe has the ultimate defence, if he takes his case to court, was the rather large gentleman that was disabled in a wheelchair. He was actually blind. So there's an immediate defence. Well, officer, I was just sat enjoying the sun. Somebody said, could I hold this for them? I don't know what was written on it. It wasn't in Braille. Maybe he should have had a sign in Braille. Yeah. They'd have probably gone and found someone who can read Braille on the police force and tried to get him that way. But it was a planned protest. The police operation was planned. It was well advertised. So we knew damn well what was going to happen. They knew what was going to happen. They knew there was going to be no resistance. Probably a lot of it was a setup anyway. That's why they were all there in shirt sleeves rather than fucking battle dressed. You know, they did have a lot to deal with. Weekends now in London. Protests going on every weekend. Well, every day. From one minority or another. But, yeah, we knew that was coming and we knew exactly what was going to happen. Yeah, play silly games, you win silly prizes. Isn't that the same? And it's a bit like the RNLI. Now, I used to support the RNLI. I used to donate to them for personal reasons of when I used to earn a bit of a living at sea. But now, no. But they seem to be flooding social media with begging videos for donations. Well, I queried this. And I was told, you know, they got to be there for people that are in danger. Fair enough, that's what I used to pay for. If I was ever in danger, I would hope they'd turn out. But they cannot explain how a boat that is escorted literally from 3 foot of water in France to a landing jetty in this country, escorted half the way by a French naval vessel, which will have rescue equipment on, until they hand them over to Border Force in the middle of the channel. Therefore, they are brought in on the Border Force vessel. Now, RNLI, can you explain at any fucking point in that process where they're in danger as you claim? I don't fucking think so. But anyway, I'm going off what I was going to talk about. The online safety bill, now in full swing, obviously. You know, the police are jerking each other off with all their extra powers they've been given now. You know, to harass and arrest people for having an opinion. You know, or even discussing topics that need to be talked about. You know, like our illustrious fucking leader ripping us off for £30 billion. Well, over £30 billion. And then blatantly lying about it. You know, these things need talking about it. And this online safety bill was never about protecting the children. It was about to censor and quell dissent, to stop us communicating, to stop us discussing, to stop us debating. But did they put this together at the same time as the new up-and-coming crime and policing bill? Because many of the items in that online censoring so-called safety bill fall in line with what's in the crime and policing bill that they're pushing. You know, where they're given the powers to harass people without being held to account, kick doors in without warrants and for no fucking reason other than posting something on the internet without a warrant. Yeah, okay, they've been doing that for a long time, but now they don't need the bullshit excuses. If this bill goes through, they won't need to give an excuse or lie as they usually do. All of what they do is using bullshit to harass people. You know, this country has become like 1930s Germany all over again. But take note, comrade. Remember how that ended? Nah, he wouldn't have the bollocks to do that. He'd probably miss and then blame it on the far right for distracting him. But anyway, welcome to totalitarian Britain now, as I say, on this beautiful summer's day. But that's where we are. Starmer has forced and is still forcing the Orwellian society on an absolute bagful of fucking lies and corruption. How can he last much longer? This is being exposed not on a daily basis. This is being exposed on a fucking hourly basis. Something's got to snap. And I think it's going to be the British people from what I'm seeing. But anyway, I'm not doing my health a lot of good here, winding myself up again. The live will go on tomorrow as usual with myself and Mrs. W. My mate said he won't call round Wednesday. If he pops in, it'll be Friday this week. So hopefully we'll be able to keep going. If I rest up enough, we might even be able to keep going a bit longer. Yeah, there'll be lots of stories up for debate, chat, you know, opinions. Obviously, bear in mind the new draconian rules on social media. Don't forget to take those into account, guys. But until then, as always, stay safe, stay absolutely strong, and point the finger at the bullshit and the lies every opportunity. Respect, people.